Welcome back to the tutorial for the hardest mode in God of War 2018. And yeah, this is the Magni and Modi fight. This is a tough fucking fight. This is a lot harder, I think. This is the hardest boss fight so far. Maybe the hardest boss fight in the game. Because I think the only big boss fight coming up after this is maybe the final boss, from what I remember. But, yeah, this is one of the hardest parts, I think, in the game. For me, at least. I mean, it varies depending on the player, but this gave me a lot of trouble. What's very hard about this is you have to get both enemies down. You have to take down 2 blocks of their health to get them to the next phase. So each phase is a new checkpoint. So if you die, you'll get a checkpoint there, and you won't have to redo the previous 2 blocks of health. But what you have to do is you have to get 2 blocks of health out on them, and you have to deplete their health to the end around the same time and kill them both around the same time. Not really kill them, but knock them out by taking the 2 blocks of health off of each one. If you don't do that, then one of them will come back to life and regenerate a lot of its health, or it may even give health to the other one as well. So you have to try to take them out around the same time, which is a big pain in the ass because they'll just keep coming back to life until you get it right. So the third phase is giving me a lot of trouble. The main one that you should probably focus on is the I don't remember their names, but it might be Magni, the one with the sword that runs at you and doesn't have a shield. He's the easiest one to damage. So I always target him primarily. And, the one with the shield, it works well to parry him and attack him. And with this one, I like to just dodge and then hit him. I don't usually parry him. If you get caught in that grapple, just use Atreus' arrows by hitting square. Hit him with a few electric arrows, and you'll get out of that. But yeah, you see he came back to life, and they got some of their health back. So now, you got to keep fighting until you get them both down around the same time. It's a pain in the ass, for sure. That's what can make the fight very difficult. They do get some extra moves in the other phases. These phases aren't as hard. At least the first phase isn't. And the second phase isn't too bad. I don't remember exactly how long I spent on these guys to get through the phases. I think it took me around an hour to beat phases 1 and 2. Which, is not too bad. But the last phase was taking me a long time, so I don't know. I'm sure I spent over an hour on the last phase, but I don't have the records of how much time that took. I didn't really keep track at that point. It may have been a few hours, I just don't remember. I know I played it for a while, I tried it for a while. It was at least an hour, I think, on the third phase. But yeah, with the large guy, you basically just roll out of the way and dodge and then hit him a few times when you can. Of course, if the other asshole is in the area, you may not want to do that, because then he'll start attacking you. You want to make sure you have a clear shot. And you just got to be patient in this fight and get your hits in when you can. I really shouldn't have used the Resurrection Stone on the first phase, but I felt like finishing it off. I should have saved it for the third phase. It would have probably helped a lot. So now I'll have to do the third phase, without any resurrection or anything like that. Which I did almost get it a few times, but just, not close enough. I think there was one time where I came really close. But a few times that were pretty close. But yeah, you just got to keep at it and try to get them, there's probably a good strategy to get them both down around the same time, but I never got good at these guys. So I don't have great advice for this fight. But see, they're both down around the same. And now it goes into like the next phase. You may have to survive this little onslaught to get the checkpoint. I'm not sure if this is a checkpoint. I never died on these, so I don't know if there's I don't know if you'll start on this little scene. And sometimes they can be tricky because they try to fake you out a little bit later. I think here it's straightforward. You just follow the red arrow, but it's sometimes it's hard to know where it's pointing. It's a weird shaped arrow. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly where you got to block. It's a little unusual because you hold L1 to block, and you rotate with R, which is normal, but if you're holding block, you can't rotate. So you got to make sure you let go of the block button. So it's a little, it's a little strange at first. At this point, I was still using, I think, the boars or something to stampede. I was still trying that out, but I ended up using crows later. I would say use the crows. I think they work much better. And the crows find the enemies, unlike other animals that you have to aim at shit. The crows will just find the enemies. And they seem a lot better. You don't have to save Atreus, so if you're busy, don't worry about him. Just let him get fucked up. You won't lose the game or anything. What'll happen is it'll just take him a little bit longer to get up and help you out again. That's the only consequence. Originally, I thought if you didn't save him, he would die or some shit, but I've never had him die, so I don't think you have to worry about that. If I'm busy doing something else, I'll just let him get fucked up so I can, deal with the enemy I'm fighting. Ideally, you'd want to, injure both of these enemies pretty equally so you can take them out around the same time. I guess that's the best way to do this. But, I never really ended up doing it that way. Like I said, I mostly focus on the large guy with the sword. But yeah, pretty much hitting the shield guy with anything will get Atreus free. So you only need to hit him once with pretty much any move. But yeah, after this is when it'll get, really hard. But I still have yet to complete that. But I'll post it up when I beat it. I haven't played in several days. See, now that their health is depleted about, around the same time, they'll go into the next phase. And now this time they'll try to fake you out. A guy will appear, but then you'll have to turn around real fast because then the other guy will appear. See, he fakes you out, and then you got to move real fast to the other arrow. And now here I'm almost dead, so I may have almost fucked it up to where I may have actually had to do that whole phase again at 2 blocks of health. Though, as I said, I'm not sure if this counts as a checkpoint. I'd never died on these scenes, so I don't know. I did come close to dying, though. Better not to take the chance. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely have up the rest of this fight and the rest of the game when I get a chance to get back to it.